Battle Royale is the latest big thing in the gaming community and whatnot. I mean, Fortnite is as big as it is. PUBG is still trying to hold on for its dear life. And every single game that's going to come out this fall apparently has a Battle Royale mode as well. Black Ops 4 going as far as to completely ditching its single player experience and just doing a Battle Royale mode instead. It's being developed, rumored, of course, by Raven Software themselves, and they are just focused on one thing and one thing only: make a Call of Duty Battle Royale mode. Apparently, according to leaks and rumors, it's going to be separate from Black Ops 4 as well, and it's just going to continually build upon whatever is going to happen inside of Black Ops 4. Add DLC stuff to it, and when a new game rolls around, the Battle Royale mode is going to be updated as well. Because currently, Battle Royale is the hot new thing. But if you look at Fortnite, for example, I personally feel that the hype has been dying down for a little while now. Sure, you still see a lot of people playing it, the game is still selling very well, as far as you can call it selling, because the game is free, and it's basically the only strength to me for Fortnite. I'm not a huge fan of the game, this is no secret of course, but I just feel like that the Battle Royale genre in general kind of either needs something completely fresh and different, and I don't really think that the Call of Duty is really going to bring that, because Battle Royale, there's not much different things you can do with it. Recently, a new Battle Royale game came in the limelight, which is called Radical Heights. Personally, I've been enjoying it probably a little bit more than I have been with Fortnite, and I think it does basically the same thing and everything else, but then slightly different when it comes to the approach to the game. And I feel like all those tiny little things is just going to be another dime in a dozen whenever a Battlefield and a Call of Duty, and even the Red Dead Redemption 2 is rumored to have a Battle Royale game mode as well. If you look at GTA Linux, for example, they tried to do the same thing as well, but then with Motor Wars. So everyone is trying to get a piece of the pie from the Battle Royale game mode. But in half a year's time, when I guess all this Battle Royale craze, and more than likely everyone has gotten sick of it, is going to be implemented in all those new fall games, I personally don't really think that they're doing the right thing, because I really think that it's a horrible idea to start developing and implementing Battle Royale game modes inside of games that are going to be releasing in the fall. All those resources could be used for much better things. Single player even in a Call of Duty game, for example, with Black Ops 4. Battlefield 5 apparently having a Battle Royale game mode as well. Like, how exactly is all that stuff going to work inside of those shooters? Like, I don't necessarily think that there's people out there who want to get a Battle Royale game mode inside of a Battlefield and a Call of Duty. Because I honestly don't really see that kind of happening in a Call of Duty game. Battlefield, it doesn't really make any sense to me either. Red Dead Redemption, I guess I could kind of see it because it's already an open world game. But it doesn't change the fact that all those games are at least 1.5 years away. And I definitely fear that because of the craze of the Battle Royale that's going on right now, and I feel it's already kind of dying down, I don't necessarily think that implementing all those Battle Royale games is going to be the right move. Because small trends like this have been around for a long time. You got all these short periods where something is extremely popular, everyone is trying to copy it, but I don't really think that we had something similar to this. Sure, Battle Royale has exploded whenever PUBG became popular, and then obviously Fortnite followed shortly after. Personally, of course, I do want to say that I would be interested in seeing how a Call of Duty or a Battlefield, or especially a Red Dead Redemption 2, would implement a Battle Royale game inside of their game. However, it really would have to be completely different of what we already see with the current games. With PUBG, you have the special element of it being a lot more realistic and definitely not arcadey at all. You got attachments and all kinds of quote-unquote realistic things, but the game is poorly optimized. It definitely still needs a lot of work. Then you have Fortnite. And then you also have Radical Heights as well, which is in very early access, if that even makes any sense. But you can already see that Radical Heights as well, in the last patch notes, the first two things you saw was big images and whatnot saying, hey guys, look, we got all these new customization things and whatnot. So to me, the Battle Royale genre more and more feels like, here's a free-to-play game. Here's a bunch of customization for a character in our not finished game. What these 3 games have in common is that they do everything slightly different than the other, but at its core is still going to be the same thing. So a Call of Duty, a Battlefield and a Red Dead Redemption 2 would have to do something completely different than all the others to really stand out, because currently I feel like it just comes down to whatever you prefer rather than a game that is actually the best one out there. If you're really someone that likes to have a whole different aspect to Battle Royale when it comes to, you know, getting shot and then building a whole fort, there's a whole thing to that. I know, but it's just something that's not for me. If you're someone that is more into military sims or is more into the realistic side of things, then PUBG is for you. But now with Radical Heights you have another option, which is kind of a mix between Fortnite and PUBG, I guess. You still get the high, fast-paced action of Fortnite, I guess, but at the same time, it's not as chaotic as Fortnite is. At least that's how I feel. It's still in very early access, so it's definitely going to change as time goes on. But what do you think? Do you think the Battle Royale is just completely overrated and that we should get rid of it as soon as possible? Or are you a fan of Battle Royale? Would you love to see more games trying to get their own version of a Battle Royale, or even completely new games as well? Because if there's one thing for certain, is that if there's competition, it pushes developers to make better games. Fortnite versus PUBG being a perfect example of that. But anyway, let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you so very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, ring the bell, and I'll see you all later.